I go in front of the board to be expelled. I have to hire an attorney. I'm 18 years old. This is terrifying. This was a moment where I was like, I need to switch my life. This is like, it gives me goosebumps because I remember how I wouldn't even sleep in my dorm. Like, I was at my buddy's house on his couch, terrified of the police about to come and arrest me. You know,
What's going on, guys? Mike Ashabi here, and welcome to another episode of the True Life Network podcast. Today, I have an awesome guest for you. He's worked with some of the top social media brands as well as influencers, helping over 4,000 clients increase exposure and catapulting their business. He's a real estate investor and an e-commerce investor as well, bringing his own company to over 20 million in revenue at the age of 27. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring to you the one and only Cody Kerns. Cody, thank you for joining us.
this is where you like cue the sound effect in the background where everyone's like,
I wish, bro, we don't have those
I appreciate you having me here, man.
Yes, sir.
We're neighbors now, so.
Yes, sir. You're about 15 minutes down the road.
Exactly.
So this ain't gonna be the only podcast we do. So Cody, I want to talk to you, kind of get a little background on your story, because I remember meeting you through social media, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's where your business is run. But I, at the age of 27, taking your company to over 20 million in revenue, I want to know where you started and how you got to where you are.
Yeah, with like no ad spend too. So that's the most creative part of all of it. A lot of people, generate sales and people can push revenue, but a lot of times you're generating 20 million with millions in expenses, right? So we were able to do that with, I think I've spent maybe $30,000 on ads in the last 5 years to generate that.
Throughout the whole journey.
It's all been through social media, networking, and going to events, warm relationships, but stories and where I came from and all that. How far in depth do you want to go here?
I mean, I kind of want to just get a better idea of how you started your entrepreneur journey.
Yeah.
And then ultimately got to the point where you're sitting in the cash right now, man.
Yeah. I mean, everything is good, right? You work hard for a while, but first entrepreneurial journey or venture, I believe I was 10 years old. Okay, so I grew up. Let me just rewind here. I grew up single mom, right? Dad left life when I was like 8 years old. Parents were divorced at 1. So he was never really in the picture. So, growing up as a young boy, you want to grasp and find who that male role model or influence is going to be for you, right? You can't just kind of wander around. For me, it was my grandpa. I was lucky. Grew up, most of my life as a child living with my grandparents, actually. Grandpa was a business owner, still works to this day. He's 82 years old. He shows up every day. He runs a paper recycling factory in upstate New York, where I'm from. So I think immediately you just kind of know as a kid, like, who's doing stuff and who's not. It's just that simple. Like, who's doing stuff? Grandpa's the boss, right? He's got the dollars, and you get a dollar bill, and he's like, that's the guy, right? So I really found a lot of influence, and he became my role model, as far back as I can remember. And as a little kid, I always said I want to own a company, and he was the inspiration. So I think when I was cognitive enough to start collecting money from people, I was 10 years old. I started a gum empire in middle school. I looked back when I had first moved down to Florida at 19. I was making more money from age 10 to 12 than when I was 19 years old. I was making more money at 10 years old than 19 years old selling gum in middle school for $5 to $20 a pack.
Upcharging.
Yeah. You know how kids are. It's $3 a pack. Well, I only have a 20. Okay, do you want 2 bags? Right? They're like, sure. So that's where I started to learn that hustle and that game of there is a huge need for gum in middle school because it's not allowed. So we were breaking the rules, creating demand. People want gum. Generated like a few $1,000. I bought my first smartphone at 12. Remember back in the day, it was like the brakes, you put them sideways and slide it, keyboard, all that good stuff. And
I had a flip phone, Nokia.
Yeah,
so I wasn't cool. So.
Well, I had to save up and buy it. So that was the first, like, wow, you really can make money and buy whatever you want. That empire was crushed. We were at a school dance. We had like, I swear to God, my buddy, my partner, his name was Cody. He had gum
Cody
taped to his leg. Because we just would go in these dances with like, how many packs can we fix? There's hundreds of kids. So he had it taped to his leg. They saw us like being, mischievous. They thought we were selling drugs. So they grabbed us both, put us in the back room. We pulled out like $200 in singles. And moms had to come pick us up. They thought we were selling drugs. Disaster. We had to donate the money. Gum Empire done, unfortunately. I wish I still had that company. Nice
still
profit
making,
margins on that.
Still making $200
that's
today.
where the entrepreneur journey started. And that was where I realized if you have something people want, you can charge a premium. And when you can charge a premium, you can make money, and everyone's goal is to make more money, right? So you can buy and do things you want. Throughout high school, after gum, that was like 7th, 8th grade, just going into high school, I think you get around, some of the wrong people, and
100%.
Just a product of your environment, the saying like, the 5 people I spend time, it's such a generic saying, but it's so undervalued because people will say that, but then still go and surround themselves with people or places that they don't even want to be at, right?
Well, I think that's just because, we want to fit in rather than create our own environment, right?
It's
and
tough.
at that age, think about it. You're in high school, you want to be cool, you want to be liked, so you're basically gravitating towards, what you see as cool.
Of course, which in high school is drugs and alcohol, right?
100%.
So in high school, I just started selling some things I shouldn't have been selling. I never got caught in high school, but I was always just doing mischievous stuff. It just kind of went darker and darker. It went from selling gum, being a cute little kid, to now I'm selling stolen electronics, right? From friends or people that had them, and I would buy them from them and sell them on Craigslist, or drugs or whatever it might be. Weed. I'm not like hardcore, none of that, but selling stuff like that, and just kind of breeze through high school. I got a job at a Dunkin' Donuts. Quit that after like 3 months. I was like, I'm never working this corporate world. Like I tried that at 15, 16 years old. I was like, I got to go back to being an entrepreneur. Way easier to sell things you shouldn't sell than go work a job, right? So high school, I did that. Went to college, just kind of followed the status quo. It was either stay home, community college, or go to South Carolina where my sister was at, older sister. So I went to Coastal Carolina for a year, and that dark path just got even darker. I joined a fraternity. This is all my fault, by the way.
We got a frat boy on the show.
I'm not blaming anybody for these actions and decisions. Like when you're a product of your environment, you are the environment too.
100%.
So I'm just as at fault as you or her or whoever. We're all putting that effort into being a bad person, right? So that game of selling things became much bigger, and eventually it came crumbling down. 1 month left in the semester to go back and finish the first year. House gets raided. They find a lot of stuff. I go in front of the board to be expelled. I have to hire an attorney. I'm 18 years old. This is terrifying. This was a moment where I was like, I need to switch my life. This is like, it gives me goosebumps because I remember how I wouldn't even sleep in my dorm. Like I was at my buddy's house on his couch, terrified of the police about to come and arrest me. Luckily I wasn't at the house. I go in front of the board and just plead my case. I got away. I didn't get in legal trouble, but my whole family knew.
Got lucky.
Attorney bills, all that, right? Just super, super scary. I came back home, and that moment was like probably the darkest moment of my life, just the most depressing because I'm broke now. I'm at school. I have $35,000 in debt. My mom co-signed it, but she doesn't have money to pay that. It's me, right? I'm in debt. I'm watching all my friends go back to school the next semester. And here I am, 18, just turned 19, back at home with no degree, no job.
So did you finish college?
No, I lasted 1 year. I withdrew because
I dropped out 3 times though.
yeah, I mean, after being there and doing and making all those stupid decisions, I just had to remove myself from that environment. Like,
So this is how you basically figured out that sales was the way to go, right?
absolutely.
Okay, so
I've been selling my whole life, right? Like,
I
just
think that's the biggest thing that most business people do, right?
Yeah.
Business owners, they always start off in sales. And do you know who Shay Bottom is?
no.
So she's she
Wait, that sounds familiar,
she's
actually.
more on LinkedIn than
Okay.
Instagram and Facebook. But I actually saw one of her posts, and she was talking about how salespeople are entrepreneurs who just don't know what they want to do yet, right? So, I mean, I think that most business owners typically come from that background of sales. And, you know, how did you transition to realizing that marketing and social media?
Absolutely.
And, you know,
And yeah, I don't want to drag the story out too much,
Oh,
but
you're good. You're good.
it's just like, I think people want to know, and that's what gets people to gravitate towards you or repel is, who is this person?
100%.
It's not about what I can sell you or, pitch to you. It's like, who are they? And I can relate with them as a person,
100%.
So, I came back. Ironically, that summer when I was looking for something, just so lost, I got introduced to network marketing.
MLMs.
Okay, that's the moment where I started self-educating. I started reading books. I started, manifesting, like practicing affirmations, all that at 19. And I applied that stuff for like 3 years in network marketing. I never really made a bunch of money, but my goal in network marketing was I saw young guys and girls crushing it, making $100,000, $200,000 a year. And I was like, this is possible. How do I get as close as I can to those people? It's a simple formula. Like, even though right now you're not making that much money, just get around people who are ahead of you. Dissolve your ego. Don't be jealous of them. Be supportive of them. And then all of a sudden, 1, 2, 5, everyone's timeline is different. You'll be one of those people.
100%.
Like, that's the formula. It's so simple. But so many people have an ego. They want to butt heads. They don't like to be, necessarily around people ahead of them. I know in the entrepreneur space, it's like, not everyone wants, but
100%.
most people, there gets a little bit of that tension to go and, not be at that level and have to swallow the pill, right?
Well, what I think it is, yes, it's obviously ego, but another thing is I think that some people are also afraid to be in those rooms because, I've heard from people, because I'm in life and business coaching myself, and something that I've been hearing recently is I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to be in those rooms. And, I think that opening up your mind to realizing that people in those rooms want you to do better. That's the reason why they're there,
Yeah.
It's just a shift in perspective. So, I mean, I think that a lot of people are afraid of what success actually could be too.
I said that for a while. I for years, even when I was crushing it, you would ask me to be out here and be like, Mike, who am I to go and like tell people what to do? That I said that for years to myself. How bad is that?
And what you're telling yourself is what you believe, and that becomes your
exactly.
reality.
So
the consistency of that is just
So yeah, this self-education development lasted in network marketing a few years. The company kind of dissolved, and after that, I went and took that resume and worked another corporate job. Okay, another corporate job, $30,000 a year, sales. I was like, I love sales. I want to do sales. Company wouldn't let me sell. They wouldn't let me sell. So I brought them a sale. With the New York State Police. I brought them a sale to transport a New York State Police helicopter. It's a pretty nice deal.
So you're working for a transport company?
Yeah, gotcha. Logistics.
Okay.
Brought them a sale. You know what they said?
What did they say?
You're not selling. You now just pushed it back. Minimum 12 months in management. They pretty much did the opposite. They suppressed me even more.
So was this the kind of turning point where you were just like, all right,
the moment they said that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go find a sales job. And who better in sales in 2014 at that time than Grant Cardone?
100%.
So while I was working the corporate job, I put in an application to be on Whatever It Takes. With Grant, he accepted me. I quit everything. Like, I took the risk. I had like $3,000 in the bank. This is when I moved down to Florida. Go on Whatever It Takes, kicks me off. Okay, so like, how many failures already, right? At 20, I think I was 21 years old. Like 3 or 4 or 5 failures. But I just was condensing time, right? And I think leaving college allowed me to condense a lot of time. I worked a corporate job. I got network marketing. I worked, on Whatever It Takes for Grant for like a couple days. Kicks me off, and that's the day the marketing idea was born.
So before we jump into that, I just want to say something because I think that's really what it takes. The being able to have the opportunity to try various things and see, hey, it's not working out this way, and then finally getting fed up. So when you're not progressing and you get sick and tired of it, you're just like, all right, enough's enough. I'm starting my own thing. I think that's the catapult for most people.
Absolutely. I think there's a big difference too of saying, well, I tried a bunch of stuff versus I went 100% in that thing and rode it to the end.
100%.
And I failed or I succeeded, right?
And you were lucky that it happened at a young age too, because
yes.
People don't really experience that until later on in life.
Rode network marketing until the company literally had to close its doors. Rode the corporate job until I got that acceptance from Grant, right? Rode that training going up to the point of going on the show that day, went all in, kicked me off, right? So that same day though, I just learned a lot from Grant, and I was thinking, my buddy picked me up. I rode a train back up, and this is in Florida, right around here at the time. And it was like right back after college. Like I just gave up everything. I just gave up the salary, the health benefits to go work for this guy, and he kicks me off his show.
No safety net though.
Huh?
No safety net. That's how you.
No, there is no safety net, and there really isn't. Like again, mom isn't. It's like no, you got to figure it out now, man. You have like a day to figure it out. And that same day he kicked me off is when I founded I Come On Marketing.
So what intrigued you about marketing itself?
Well, at first it wasn't even supposed to be marketing, but we were sitting there and saying, what does the economy, the marketplace need? It was 2015. Instagram was an infant. Facebook was like just being solidified. You could only post photos on Instagram. But our idea was there's so many people on social media, we know it's going to keep growing. How can we get these people in front of who's already looking for them? Like, how can we get Mike in front of people who are looking for coaching? How can we get, Joanne in front of people who need her hair salon, right? Nail salon, beauty, whatever it is. We wanted to help personal brands and businesses build their audience, but a targeted audience to generate sales, all that. It's just simple. Like, I don't even think I wanted to start a marketing company. I just wanted to start a company that could connect people.
So
that was
somewhat like an MLM. No, I'm joking.
I mean, I wish. I'd probably be worth way more. People who own these MLM companies, they're crushing it, man.
But
shout out to Alex Warren. Like, he's the inspiration, I think, for all the guys that were in network marketing. To see him now at 33, I think he is, still running it, bigger than ever. Yeah, he's crushing it.
There's definitely opportunity in it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
To me, I think that also what happens is a lot of people get demotivated because they don't they'll start an MLM, right? Mm-hmm. And then they see these guys who are actually making a bunch of money, and then they're going not getting traction. They're just like, how did you build like such a large downline?
Yep.
How did you get so many clients? Because it's not working for me.
Yep.
Right. And I think that most people then start looking at it as a scam.
Yeah, I think network marketing is great just for the networking. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. If you can make money from it, God bless, right? But I think the true value in anything is the connections. And I tell you, if I was never network marketing, I wouldn't have founded the company. I would have never gotten my clients the way I get my clients. So I used that entire 2.5, 3 years that I built that network marketing to then launch the marketing company. So it's where I got my first clients. So
opportunity. Everybody's looking to get more exposure to maybe build their downline. Yep. So you utilize what you had in front of you.
Exactly.
So in regards to the company itself, you went from literally starting it to over 20 million now.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm curious is, what were the 3 biggest mistakes that you made throughout your journey?
3 biggest mistakes. Okay, the first mistake is trusting people way too much, especially when we're young. I founded the company at 22, right? 21. Very young. That means everyone working around us was extremely young as well. I opened my doors. I split up my bedroom to have people who worked for me move in my place. I didn't create a barrier between professional and personal. And there has to be in business.
I'm going to hear about this later. She always tells me the same thing.
There has to be in business. I was everybody's friend. And you know what happens to friends? They get taken advantage of every single time. I mean, literally proven over 100 times. Like, we've had over 100 people work with us probably at this point. Affiliates, salespeople in the office, buddy, physical world, like right near each other. Every time it failed. Every single time. I take responsibility for it, but at the same time, I just think, even though it seems like people want to be friends and you think, oh, well, these people work with me, or, they're my customer, or whatever it might be, the moment you drop your guard and just let them fully in, it's not going to last long. Like, confidently, I believe that.
So what were some of the things that were happening with you that made you realize, hey, you know what?
Guys coming in, making more money than ever. We're talking 21, 22-year-olds making $2, $3, $5 a week on their phone in our apartment, So over and over, we would see guys do that. They would be like, oh, I can do this myself. They would attack our client base, right? It was like almost every month.
Learn the system, make the connection,
yes.
And then go ahead and separate
They try and pull the rug.
utilize their own
Exactly.
lines. Okay. Gotcha.
Every time. Every single time. Because there was no barrier. I opened up the vault to them. They had access to the vault. Like, oh, come look at my collection of diamonds and dollars. You know, it's like, do you think that tempts people? Open up your vault to everyone in your life. I bet you some people will start to steal, right?
100%.
So that started to happen over and over. It took me like 5 years to realize that. Eventually to where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to close myself off. I'm going to create these barriers. And we've exploded, right? With less people. So that's the biggest mistake. I don't think it means to not take chances though. I just wish I had built more of a filter, you know?
100%. Kind of like a vetting system.
Just not being everyone's best friend. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I literally opened up my bedroom to somebody to live in my room with me, you know? Like, that's how deep it was
Trust
becoming.
me, I've been there too,
Yeah.
so I totally get that. But what I want to know from you in regards to that is, how did you approach it differently though? Because, you know, I'm that nice guy, I'm that softy, you know, so this is actually advice from me right now, so sorry guys, but I mean, it might be valuable to somebody else. Right?
Well, no, I think you having the office is great. Well, there's like two different things to this. One, you don't want to come off as I'm better than you or I'm the boss, right? So I'm superior.
I hate that.
It'll repel everybody. It's almost like, hey, I'm here to serve you, and I don't know, just have a filter on personal stuff. I think my biggest weakness is I'm just so open and transparent about everything. If there's a problem, everyone will know. Everyone in the office would know. It's like, no one needs to know that. Why am I spewing negativity or even just personal things nobody should know about, you know? So it's just little things, being so conscious of what you're saying, and the more people around you watching you, you really have to be conscious of that, right?
100%.
But yeah, just there to serve them and paying well. Like, that's how it's gotten better. You just pay really well. You don't give them the full keys though, because that's what makes you special, me special, whoever, right? It's like, no, that's for us to know. Whatever that is, whatever your business is. So
Okay, so that was number one.
yeah.
Honestly,
Wow, I don't
bank
know
business.
two other ones.
You don't got another one? Come on, there's got to be something, because the journey does have adversity. There's ups and downs.
Yeah, it does.
What was something that, you know, you realized, okay, you know what, I can't be doing it like this anymore. I have to switch it up, otherwise maybe the company can go in a completely different
Yeah,
direction.
it's funny, like ups and downs. All my ups and downs were from teenager to like 22. Honestly, the last 5 years have been incredible. Like, I'm not even gonna, it's just been, because I've just been head down, you know? At the end of the day, it was, even if everyone leaves, I'm still gonna perform. Like, we'll be good, you know? So
So when we were actually talking in the other room, you were talking about, you know, right now you don't have an office, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately you're working with affiliates, and, you know, how has that transformed your business rather than the traditional way of, you know, working in an
Totally.
office, you know, having people come in 9 to 5?
my office has become doing events. I love doing events and getting people. That's what I consider my office, right? And I did have an office for years. I don't know. I just feel like we're kind of moving in a society. My product specifically, right? We're in a place where I don't have to be next to them, and I know my weaknesses. And if I'm around people, it's just gonna hurt me. Like, it just goes back to what I was just saying. I can't have that filter.
You're just you.
So
24/7.
yeah. So some days, like more than not, like she would see me and be like, "This guy he's a dick," right? Like, I don't want people seeing me like that, or I'm having a bad day, and then that gets put on everybody else. So some people though are really great at running offices. Like,
I don't have a switch. I'm just like you, right?
yeah, which I don't know. It's
understand how
good
people
and
can
bad,
actually
right?
do that. It's like, all right, aren't you human? Aren't you feeling things too? I mean, my fiance is good at it. You know, like she's just
Well,
like,
yeah,
hey,
women usually are better because
they're better at everything, bro.
yeah. Well, it's not everything. But I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, like for me personally, you know,
Yeah.
when I'm feeling something, like I actually like think about it, right?
Totally.
Like I'm trying to understand what's going on, and it shows.
I just think at the corporate level, like, you know, big Fortune 5, when you think of the CEO, 99% of the company never sees them.
Doesn't see him.
Even though they're in the office, they seclude themselves because they're creating that space. Like, one of our friends works out in San Francisco. I'm not going to drop names or company names, but she's high up in the company, right? Dude, the CEO has maybe 6 people that know what's going on with him. out of thousands of employees. Okay, so that's the model you have to you want to mirror if that's the route you want to take. I'm not strong at doing that. I think I'm stronger at just performing myself and just leading the pack. Like, I want to be throwing the spears with you guys because that's all that I am good at, right? Like, I'm going to lead the sales board every month. That's what I'm good at, right? And I've weeded out a lot of people by doing that, by showing up every day, every week, every month at the top of the sales board. You know, in the office space, it actually repelled a lot of people away. Whereas if I think I pulled myself out of it and I didn't count my numbers and let them excel, probably would have been a better environment, right?
100%. I mean, at the same time, I think that you do have to, outperform them.
Totally.
It's leading by example.
Yeah.
Right? But it also creates that competitive atmosphere for them, to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to beat him.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can, take him on his own products and services. So I kind of like that, though, but it makes you, sharper with your own abilities because hey, you know what? I have no other option, but I got to perform.
Yeah.
Right?
So I've created my environment in my house. Like, I've built out an entire office for myself. I have a routine. I'm at my desk. I have everything I do. I work, mostly through the phone,
Well, you just said something about routine, right? Since you don't have an office, What is your daily routine?
Get up, go to the beach, play some golf. No, some days I do play golf.
Because
I don't know. I'm so about just like feeling good, because for so many years I didn't feel good at all. I was grinding myself down. Like, I just imagine this like iron stud, and it was like really sharp and square. And after like 3 years, it was just like a round, dull. That's how I felt for so long because I wasn't trying to focus on the feel good. It was just, let's grind. Let's do this. Let's do what we think we're supposed to do, right?
Well, do you think that catapulted you?
Yes and no. I don't know. I don't look back and say I wish I fixed this or that. I'm talking about like in the now, right? Right now, I like to feel good. If I know, we all wake up and we have those days where we're like, this is funny, as speaker at the event, I was like, you ain't fucking with me today. Like, today is not the day. Everyone in this room has those days where it's just like, this is not my day. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to do that. On those days now, I just try and do something to feel good. Go play golf, right? Like, I love cars. Cars make me feel good. So
yeah, you've been through like
I encourage a lot of cars, but I encourage people, not everything takes money either, like buying cars and stuff. If you like to play golf, if you like to go to the beach and it's Tuesday morning, and that's the reality you want, why are you not creating it? Like, what's going to make you feel good? Because when you feel good, you're going to attract good, you're going to be in a good mood. People want to be around people who feel good. When I was in an office, I didn't feel good myself. Some guys like you, I feel like you come in here and this is like your juice, though. Like,
listen, I mean, everybody has their own.
Everyone,
right?
Everyone.
I mean, I think it just, for me personally, I like the environment, right?
Of course.
Seeing that everybody's in on the floor and things like that. But like, then I have those days where I'm just like, you know what? I need a freaking break.
But
bro.
it gets you going.
It does.
I know it gets you going. You love the like.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do love it, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, like I'm human too. We all need our down days. I mean, I would love to have leisure like you, where you're just like, you know what, today, it's my day, right? But like, you're still hustling, you're still making it.
Of course.
So I'm curious. Do you have like?
It took like 7 years to be able to say, okay, I want to do what feels good, right?
Yeah,
But that is, you're asking like one of the biggest regrets. Okay, I wish throughout the years I kept a little bit of personality because I lost all personality.
You felt like you were.
And we were talking about a thing in the other room. It's like, that's not the personality that I want. But that happens to so many entrepreneurs.
Why do you think that is?
Because it only becomes about money, and they put so much pressure and stress that if they don't perform, all these other ducks and eggs just will collapse.
So
I didn't want to build a system where every day I wake up and I'm like, I gotta pay this, I got this, I got this. I don't like that. And I did it for so long. So that's why I got rid of the office and transitioned the whole model.
I mean, I think that's the model that most companies are going, but nowadays, especially after COVID.
But then I come in here and I'm like, this is sick. I wish I had a spot like this.
I appreciate it.
I really do. I'm like,
I mean, to tell you the truth, this is my favorite room. Where we're in right now, the studio, and I want to spend most of my time there. But obviously, we're still transitioning. We just opened the in-house office, and it's going to take a little bit of time where I can fully embed my time into content creation and things like that. But I mean, ultimately, it's not even about like also having an office for me. It's about having an environment where there's positive attitudes, thinking, bigger, where everybody's just after
Starts
more.
with you too.
Yeah, it
You got to be
100%
good at
does.
that,
And I mean, that's why sometimes I'm very big on okay, I need to disengage.
Yeah.
I need to, fix myself because, Trent Shelton talks about this all the time. Protect your peace.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not staying up here.
And that's the thing. A lot of owners, guys who run businesses, we want to protect our peace, but God forbid he or she in our office wants to do this or that. We're like, oh, well, you got to perform, right? You start to get in those modes because I'm not saying everyone does that, but that's how I would act. Like, kind of like what we're seeing at the political level, don't do as I do, just do as I say.
As I say, yeah.
So
I mean,
again,
it's
just
hard
a
because at the
weakness.
same time you want them to perform, right? And you did the work. The CEO, who created everything, has done it. He's been there, right? And he pushed through it.
Of course.
So we're trying to get them also to be
100%.
like, hey, you know what?
It's all with a grain of salt.
You gotta-
Don't take everything.
You gotta pay
saying,
your dues,
100%.
But at the same time, you gotta understand people that they
Yeah.
need a break, and I think that's the biggest portion of being a leader or even a CEO or business owner, because you have to understand them. It's not about you. You're just there to create opportunities and safety, and the opportunity to go ahead and go out there and get the life
Totally.
they want. And I think that's where most people kind of are trying to mimic the Steve Jobs way. It's just get it done or don't.
Yep.
Right? Otherwise, get out.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm just you know what? I think the biggest thing for CEOs is actually investing into your people, right? Giving them all the tools, resources, knowledge, opportunity. And most companies aren't doing that.
No, especially in our space.
Yeah, I
No
mean,
one wants to spend money. They're,
you can't make money unless you don't spend it.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to a scarcity mindset. If you don't think that you can put it, the reason why you can't put it out is because you don't believe that in your own abilities to go create it.
Totally.
Right?
To do any of that, though, you have to feel good.
100%.
So it just goes back to if you feel bad, you're definitely not doing any of it.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that there's three essential investments that any business needs to make in order to be successful. One, employees. Two, marketing. So anyone who needs marketing, hit up the man, Cody Kerns.
I would be dressed better, but I told Mike I've been going to the gym recently. I used to be in such good shape, and then you become an entrepreneur and you be lazy. It's such a bad excuse for 4 years.
Don't look at me, guys.
Yeah, he's got to get in the gym. I'm we're the same frame. It's I don't want to be this frail, scrawny guy,
Bro.
So I've been getting up before 7 and going to the gym, and I forgot I had an appointment, so I've been out of the house all morning. So I guess
I used to go to the gym. I'm not even joking. After the
I
tour,
used to go 8 years ago.
though, I mean,
Yeah.
I completely stopped because I was trying to transition a lot of things. But going back to what I was saying, though, there's three essential investments: employees, marketing, and then also training. Right? Without one of those three, you're done for.
Yeah.
I'll show you why. Ready? So without employees, you're going to invest in marketing, have a bunch of leads coming in, not the manpower to handle them, right? Without the marketing, you're going to have trained employees with no opportunities. And then without the training, you guys are going to have leads coming in. You guys are going to be able to handle them, not handle them properly enough to transact.
Yep.
So, I mean, I
It's
think
tough, man. Building a company is smart. I think, end of the day, maybe I'm just weak and I gave up on trying to build a company structure like that. I joke about it, but it's kind of true, right? It's so tough to manage people and yourself and build a system and be willing to invest all the money. Dude, that's scary. It's scary, Yeah, I know, So
I can show you the numbers of what I put up
Yeah.
for all this, bro. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just better get a return.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the money tree in the other room is just printing, so.
We're trying. You know how it goes.
No, you're ballsy though, and you have to be. If you go the route of building out the office and people, if I have people showing up in an environment that I'm creating, it's got to be sick. It's got to be, sick and all out and no shortcuts.
But I also think this is where it comes down to, it's that scarcity mindset again, right? And I think that's where, financial literacy is so important to be teaching your employees, because at the end of the day, first of all, if they don't understand money, they have, this is a Grant Cardone thing, that if they have broken finances, how do you expect them to go create money?
Yeah.
Right? So if they don't understand their money, they're not going to understand the client's money, and they damn sure ain't going to be understanding the company's money.
Yep.
Right? So it's that leader creating that culture of understanding money, personal issues, professional, and how to manage them all. At a company, I think every single company should be teaching personal growth and development, because, especially a sales company, because at the end of the day, sales And personal growth and development go hand in hand.
Oh yeah, 100%. You need the personal development before the sales.
The hardest sale
you learn sales by doing it, but you have to have it's like a finesse, right? Like in sales, you got to have that education, that knowledge behind why you're even doing what you're doing, you know?
That's what I
Which is, yeah. And it's not like, oh, I want to buy my mom a house. Of course, I talk about this when I speak too. It's like, everyone, I want to buy my mom a house. It's like, wow, I've never heard that before. You know, of course you want to buy your mom a house. Of course you want to do those things. But have you even been selfish enough with yourself to even get yourself in a mindset or position to achieve those things? It doesn't start with buying your mom a house. It's going to start with you as an individual being selfish in a good way. We're taught being selfish is bad. Don't be selfish, be generous. Hold on. You got to be selfish with yourself to educate, to do the things you're talking about, to learn.
Selfish.
What is it then?
Bro, here's the thing. It's selfish not putting yourself in that position because then you can't contribute.
Yep.
Because you can't give what you don't have.
Yep.
So you have to understand your own individuality to the point where you can go ahead and create your life and then be able to bring your life. Bro, did I tell you the reason why I call it true life?
No.
All right. So me personally, your message is your message. Okay. So ultimately, I had issues facing my own truth. So once I realized that and I faced that truth, the truth will set you free and allow you to live your true life. So I want to help people do that. So I mean, like at the end of the day,
it's awesome.
People have to realize their own truth, that they're not doing it for, like, you have to develop as a person, not only for you, it's bigger than you.
Yeah, 100%. But it starts with you. You know.
Did you read my book?
No. I haven't, honestly. I'm gonna take this one right here.
Bro,
I'm gonna be honest. I've been lazy with reading too. You know, I went from like reading books and audios to watching YouTube videos of fast cars.
I mean, like, but at the same time, you can't, right? Yes, you still have the time to develop more.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
You know, for the people that
I still go to events though. I think events for me are the reading and doing stuff like this. This is educating. You know, this is personal development. Going to events, meeting people, being inspired by people. It's a big realm.
100%. So with all the events and everything you're doing right now, what's next?
Right now, focused on a lot of e-com stuff. Social media business has been there for 7 years. That market's it's kind of like it's changed a lot, but at the same time, it hasn't really changed the social media stuff. Just putting the focus on bigger ticket items, you know, and just working with people that have more finances. So I've gone heavy in Bitcoin the last couple years.
If you don't mind me asking.
Like almost 40 Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, so like multiple millions in Bitcoin. I treat it like my savings account.
You ever gonna take it out, you think?
Some of it. I'm thinking right now about buying something with it, like some profits. I want another car, but we'll see. Yeah.
How many have you actually had?
Probably like 20. I don't know. It's a lot. It's so dumb. Like, it's so stupid, you know, to buy. But again, it's what makes me feel good. For girls love buying clothes. Some girls will shop at Zara, and then you get girls that are like, I want Balenciaga, I want this, I want this. So everyone has their little addiction, as long as you feel good. And you're not being dumb, right? There is a difference of, there's levels. Like when I first started, I wanted an M3. It was 30 grand. Okay, no worries. Like people take out auto loans all the time. I'm gonna buy an M3. It's what I want, you know?
So do you buy out the cars or?
I don't buy them cash, no. That's so
finance.
So dumb to buy them all cash.
I was just curious.
Yeah, why would you risk sinking cash into something that more than not is gonna depreciate?
So do you buy it though and finance it, or do you lease?
Yeah, it's structured like a finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're filtering cars like no joke, like every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I've calmed down now because I've got like the pinnacles of what I wanted.
On your back about it?
No, she doesn't care at all actually, which
she probably loves it. She's like, I got a new driver.
Yeah, she gets new driver exactly. No, right now I have the Urus and I have an Aventador, and then we have the Range Rover, but I want to get a 458 Speciale. I think that's the. But you run out of garage room, you know. I'm bragging right now. I'm not complaining. I'm just kidding. But no, I love cars. Like I want to build a collection that to me is people like art. You know, people spend hundreds of thousands on art, and I like cars and finding specs. But yeah, focus, you know, on Bitcoin as a savings account. I've gone pretty heavy in real estate. Almost 10 million. Like I'll have 10 million under management.
Let's go.
Within the next, 3 to 6 months. We really just need one more property, which we're looking for.
If you need some properties, I'll send some your way.
there you go. I'm always
You
down.
probably didn't even know I was in the real estate game, did you?
No.
I have 51 units up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I come across properties all the time. I could send you some portfolios.
So yeah, like we did the luxury property in Delray, but I'm in a 48 and a 52 unit in Tennessee, multifamily. I have stuff with Cardone. I've spread out a lot in real estate. That to me is like the ultimate wealth building. Like you're asking if I'll sell Bitcoin, only to liquidate it to invest it in something else, you know?
So here's my thing, ready? Which one do you think is more safe?
Safe?
Yeah, I know the answer to it.
I mean, real estate is safer, but Bitcoin's return is unmatched.
But it could drop any moment.
It could, but can anything?
100%. See, that's why I like real estate.
I don't like to live in that, you know, it could drop. It's like,
I feel you.
if Bitcoin drops, so does the stock market. So does everything else.
Yeah.
You just hold, man. You don't sell. Diamond hands.
I don't know. With me, I'm a little weird about it. I do have money in Bitcoin. I have probably just over $500,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I started off with 200K.
It's a great
and
play.
it just grew. I don't touch it.
Yeah,
right?
it's a great play.
She keeps telling me to
Sell it?
to take it out.
Well,
right?
we make a joke, like when everyone is talking about it, like when you go and get a haircut and your barber's like, bro, I got on that Bitcoin, but have you seen the Shiba Inu rocket Elon? I'm like, okay, this might be the time I gotta sell because the greed meter is at like 100, you know?
I mean, like, with me, it's just like, I don't care about that. Like, if it drops that 200K that I would have lost or whatever. I just did it to check it out.
Of course.
I mean, I like real estate better.
Yeah,
Because
so
like,
do I.
if the market drops, I still have something tangible that I can sell and still get some
Totally.
money back. You know, with Bitcoin stock, like even the stock market.
That's that like 90-year-old Mike Ashabi coming out right now. You have that like old soul to you, that little part where you're just like, I prefer the real estate.
I mean, bro.
I'm just kidding. I love real estate too.
But with real estate too, like let's say for example, like we're in a market right now, not even looking at multi-units, right?
Mhm.
Market right now, realtors are doing really well. Even loan officers, even though the interest rates are
Anyone in
down,
the space.
they're dominating. Like I'm not even joking. I'm in the process of buying a house. Bro, people put something on a listing, you know,
It's gone within a day or two.
in an hour. I'm calling trying to get an appointment, but we already got like 10 offers.
That's everything right now. It's the car market. It's crazy. We're in a crazy
Car market too,
It's
bro.
all
I'm not even
crazy.
joking. Someone I was speaking to, forget who it was, but they were here the other day and they were saying that people are purchasing cars like 30K
Oh, yeah.
above asking or MSRP.
Yep. G-Wagons are going for like 300, MSRP 180s. So everything is crazy. I mean, I think it will come down, but the higher it goes, it can only come down so far, right? So it's like, you just hold. Like you buy things and hold them. You sell if you want to sell your assets, you have to convert it into another asset. You're like, you sell Bitcoin. The only reason I'd sell Bitcoin is to convert it into something else. A car, real estate, right?
Makes sense.
I wouldn't sell it just to have the money. You would laugh if you saw how much money is in my bank account. Like,
You guys want to laugh?
yeah, less than
Sure,
$10,000.
sell.
Less than $10,000 in my bank account.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, like it's like 10 million or something.
Oh, in my bank account?
Yeah.
No, because I put money in everything else. I have like pushing 3 million in Bitcoin, right? I have all the real estate. I have passive income. I have my business income. So it's like the moment money's coming in, I've already mentally set goals and targets to put it to work somewhere, or to buy things, or to reward. Just it's
I think
cycles,
that's
right?
Hard for most people to grasp too,
It
right?
took me a while to do that though. To stay broke like that, it's scary.
Oh, I know it's
Yeah.
scary because that's
It
why
makes
most
you
people aren't
work
willing to do
so
it.
hard though.
But here's the thing too, that's a trick that most people don't even realize. Like when you have that ability to look at your bank account and be like, oh,
Can't believe I just told everyone I have less than 10 grand in the bank. No, there's some weeks it's more than that, but
we can cut it out. if you
yeah,
want.
that's fine.
That's
No, definitely keep it. That's real. Like I do
do.
like to only keep like very minimal amounts.
But see, that's something I used to do too, right? Like when I was making money when I first started the company, I would keep it in a separate account that I didn't look at.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Every
I was
morning you
still-
wake up and you're like, I have $287. I gotta work.
bro, I'm not even joking. Like I was still eating ramen noodles because I wasn't looking at it.
Yeah.
Like for like the first 2 months, I did 45.7K my first month, 114.6K my second month,
That's insane.
and I was still sitting there eating ramen.
It took me a year and a half to do 100,000 in revenue.
Well, I'm not gonna give my secret away. If you guys want the secret, let me know.
I mean,
me
that's
reach
incredible.
out. Appreciate it.
It reminds me of Colin Kirkison, plugging Colin right now.
Yeah.
I just did a boot camp with him.
Okay.
He's 25. He was in $70,000 worth of debt 2 years ago. He's now is worth like $3.5 million. he had like those months. He just started his business, started to click, and
Well,
the opportunity right now, man, is so insane too. Like,
I think most people aren't taking advantage of it either. Like as soon as like COVID hit, I think that actually helped my business. Like
man,
I
I
know
was
it's,
terrified, but it has helped.
I think that like, yeah, it's unfortunate everything that happened, but like this is the time that like most companies like should have, you find those real people
Yeah.
because they're either gonna go all in or be scared like everybody else, right? It's like, hey, this is the time to innovate and find solutions that you can provide to people.
100%.
And I think that helped my business
It's never been easier to start a business.
because everybody was looking for answers.
Like just one more thing, and then if you want to do another topic or whatever, but I just said no one wants to like start a business, right? Or, most people. I think 99% of people shouldn't even start a business, and they should find a successful business.
And buy it.
No, and become a part of it and get around people that are crushing it. So many people want to be the boss or entrepreneur. So what? We're going to just have an economy. Everyone's their own thing. Everyone's their own entity. Like, systems can't operate like that. I think it's slept on to go and work or partner with people. It's like a huge thing I've been onto is partnerships. And just like, again, dissolving your ego. You don't have to be the boss. You don't have to be the one guy or girl, right, and be the boss. You actually can be more successful and go further by partnering with the right people. So
just
important.
fix verbiage though.
Yeah.
That's partner. You were saying like working like with a company or something.
Yeah, working
right?
for someone. No, I mean, but why is there even that like? Just
Well,
because.
here's the thing. Look, even at my company,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to get controversial on you. Like I want people to come here to learn the ins and outs, and then eventually go apply it to something that they're
Totally.
more passionate about. And that was like the purpose even when I was working with the Cardinal licensee and everything. It was really to learn the ins and outs of the business and then find something I was passionate about and then apply all the knowledge.
Yeah.
And I learned what not to do, I think.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me with my business. But I think that, I think everybody should truly go after what they're passionate about and create their own environment. I think that it brings that individuality into, who that person is.
Totally.
I do agree with partnerships.
I don't know, man. Well, here's the thing. Work for someone. If you want to make it like hierarchy like that, partnerships to me doesn't mean 50-50. Like someone could be doing a baseline job with me and they're a partnership, I think that word is like sexier than saying you're my employee.
Yeah.
It's very, in 2021, you know how sensitive, it's very derogatory now. You're like, you're my employee. That's like such a 90s thing, So partnerships, when I say that, it's like the guy shooting camera, the person managing accounts, whoever it is, they're all partners, right?
100%.
And partnering with systems and teams, I think, is the fastest way to then go and do something if you want to do it. You can make more money and meet more people partnering and working with people than I think you can, just going out and trying to do it on your own.
Definitely.
That's what I think, and that's something that I've been. I mean, I guess we are kind of right now. This is. There's just no money involved yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keyword yet.
Yeah.
So Cody, I know we're on a time frame here. If you had any advice for anybody trying to come up in your industry, or 3 things to avoid in your industry, what would you tell them?
Well, we're already talking about partnering, especially in the social media e-commerce world. Like, good luck trying to do it yourself, because there are so many companies already established that have the exact formula. Like, why reinvent the wheel? If someone has a wheel and they're the only person I can get wheels from to put on my car, like, no, I'm not going to go to the wood shop or the factory and try and create my own tire. So no, I'm just going to buy their wheel. I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to profit their pocket to get that item good, right? I would suggest to someone to find a great company, great team that pays really well. Partner with them. That is my biggest advice. Learn from them, not with the intention of like taking or stealing. No, go and perform and put in the work if that's an industry you're passionate in. And eventually you might be a partner, right? Like how you're saying, a partner as in like an equity holder, or your commissions are doubled, That happens a lot, and I think it's becoming more and more rare for that just, what's the word, like trust, like working with people in this day and age, especially our age, that are really genuinely just wanting to not only improve themselves, but everyone around them and perform.
Well,
Right?
I think that everybody's looking at money rather than freedom.
Yeah.
Right. They're looking at money as just like a quick fix. Like, how much money can I get from him? Like, what can I get?
Totally.
It's all about them. They're not coming from a place of contribution, which ultimately I always tell everybody, and I think this is the most valuable thing that I've ever learned in life. Stop chasing the money and start chasing being a person of value, and the money will come.
100%. And that took me years to learn because for so long I wanted to be the boss. I wanted to be the hierarchy. Like, no, I'm the boss, right? Now I joke around. I'm like everybody's six man. Like, I know my role. I play my role. And guys and girls that are crushing it, financially above me or below me, just crushing it in general, I've become their biggest fan. Like, I want to be their best friend. I want them to be like, Cody's awesome. How do I work with him? You know, how can we partner?
I think that's the key word you said, their best friend,
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah. But still having that filter of professionalism,
Yes.
you know? Like professionally supporting them. Like, anything you need, I'm here. Hey, yeah, don't even worry about the referral on that. Like, those small things, they generate the don't even worry about it. Well, I want to do it. Then people want to do things for you, right? So I've just become very supportive of entrepreneurs, and I've completely dropped the idea of competition. And anyone who wants to compete with me, then okay, you know, let's fucking go. You want to compete, then let's go, right? Most people, though, they're not jerks. They don't want to do bad things. They don't want to be like a dick and
Yeah, I think
some. But I
yeah.
think most people, like, genuinely, if they're put in the right place and they are around the right people, they want to be supportive. They love being around positivity, and you just have to create that, you know, as a leader, you know. And the easiest way for me that I've done that is just getting around other people that have attributes and characteristics that I want,
Definitely.
you know.
Definitely. So Cody, if anybody wants your services, where can they find you?
Instagram is the best. Yeah, it's
Instagram.
just Cody Kerns 5.
Last question though.
Yeah.
Is Instagram the only place that you do a lot of marketing stuff on? Or is it Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, we run it just depends. Like, marketing is so detailed. It just has
That's
to
how
be.
I met you on Instagram.
Instagram is the best place. I mean, Instagram is the focus. We do have like an ads vertical with my partner, right? I found a guy who crushes it. Rather than trying to hire someone and like force, it's just like, no, my buddy crushes it. So he and I have a partnership with Google Ads, Facebook Ads, YouTube, any sort of advertisement. But yeah, the most popular service is definitely the Instagram stuff, growing your Instagram, building a personal brand, enhancing your content, doing a professional video and photo shoot, all that
So
good
it's
stuff.
at Cody Kerns.
5. Yeah,
At Cody
5.
Kerns.
Lucky number 5.
So you guys heard it here. Cody, I appreciate you joining me, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks.
We'll do it again.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes, sir.